Perfect. Okay, today we are going to do something a little bit different. So if you're not driving, make sure that you are able to either react with like the hand raise button or you can just physically raise your hand because we're going to play a game. And I'm going to just moderate, and y'all are actually the ones that are bringing the content today. So I'm really excited. How many of you right now, this is kind of a common theme that I'm hearing from buyers every day, or I'm sorry, from agents every day. How many of you have buyers that you're showing them houses, you're showing them the right houses, you know it checks all the boxes, they love the house, but they're still sitting on the fence for whatever reason. You can't get them to move. Michelle? They're okay. So today we are going to play a little game around objection handlers for those buyers that are they're qualified. You've got the house, but they're not doing anything. So I am going to be a buyer and I'm going to give y'all some of the objections that myself and other agents have been hearing lately. And when you have a response, I want you to raise your hand or the react emoji, whatever. Um, and yeah, we'll whoever has the best or has the most responses wins a prize. I don't know what that prize is yet, but you'll get a prize of some sort. I'll call you and we'll figure it out. Um, okay, so very first one that I'm still hearing on is, oh man, I do really love this house, but my interest rate is just too high. Heard it yesterday. Oh, Megan's up.
I would probably respond with, well, maybe we can talk to the lender to see, what the limit is for buy downs, and maybe we can negotiate with the sellers, giving concessions to maybe buy down the rate.
Ooh, I like that. Good one. Anybody else?
So
Sure.
have they been looking for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so remember last year when we looked at that perfect house and it was 350,000?
Mm-hmm.
And now how much was this house again?
This one's at 340.
Okay. So you see, threw me a loop. That wasn't what I was expecting you to say.
I'm sorry.
You, no, you're good. You're good. So
This
you see prices are actually in buyers' favor right now. And a lot of sellers are wanting properties to move. This one's been on the market for what, 95 days? We
is
might have a seller here who's motivated. Do you think it might make sense to just throw an offer out at them? Like, what would be a comfortable price point monthly payment wise?
maybe, I mean, if we could stay under 3,000, that would be
Under
great.
3,000. Okay.
With everything
Okay.
included, taxes, insurance, like total.
Okay. So really looking at that, I mean, that's really only $10,000 from where we're at here, right? Like, or we could take that 10,000. Okay. I can't do this while driving. I'm just thinking, but
You're
um,
doing great.
so if we take that, if we take that 10,000 and throw it into a rate buy down, that's actually going to get you under 3,000. Would that be something you'd be interested in looking into?
Well, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
let's go. No, I'm just kidding. I thought you were going to
Let's
honestly throw me
go.
in. I thought you were going to throw me prices have increased, which wouldn't really make sense if they've only been looking for a year. And then we were going to roll with that, but
No, you're sorry, but no, that's good. That was very good. Yes. And way to like roll with the punches there. Brooke, were you raising your hand?
Well, I was just going to say, we've talked about how much your house has increased in value. Maybe you can take a little bit more of that equity and put it towards the house, in addition to, like Michelle said, you know, oh my gosh, now I can't even remember what Michelle said. Um, but that, no, hold on. Somebody, somebody said something like off to the side and it messed me up. No, that definitely like using additional equity. Oh, also when she mentioned the buy down and that, you know, maybe we could look into you know, getting the sellers to, no, I know what Michelle said. That was Megan who said something about the buy down. Michelle said something about that it's kind of more favorable on the buyer side. So maybe you know, if you like, if they haven't gotten any other offers or anything on the house, maybe we can see if the seller would be willing to pay some of that buy down for you, like help with some of the closing costs or something that might help offset, you know, some of the cost for you.
Nice.
But
Very nice.
mainly that equity, I really think tapping into your home's equity.
That's good. Ramil.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I would add in everything that everyone else said, but I would also, I imagine we would have had this conversation before, so I would start off with, you know, Audra, I understand that leaving your 3% interest rate is tough, but looking back at what you're leaving, you guys you've outgrown your house, right? So it's really not an option for you guys to stay in your place any longer. Um, if you can, you're not going to be happy, which is why we're looking, for places right now. And then I would go into, again, see if we can get a rate buy down, and some other options. But yeah, I would definitely bring it back to, um, the reason why they're moving in the first place.
Yep. Taking it back to motivation, always super powerful. Yeah. Something else I thought of, and Michelle she actually made me think of this, but um going back to, okay, well, what's your affordability, right? So let's put price and rate to the side and let's just talk about your monthly payment. Where do you want that to be? So if I can get your monthly payment under 3,000 or wherever you want it to be, the rate doesn't really matter as much, right? As long as your payment is where it needs to be. So that was one. So um
I just had an example of this. So we have a builder in town that has, like, if you finance with their mortgage company, it's like 2% interest or 1.5% lower. And just being able to show them, we were looking at houses they were unhappy with, new construction, and being able to show them, like, hey, I think we can raise your budget and still be under the price point monthly you want if we go look at this other builder. So I think it's just getting creative and solving
yeah.
their needs, figuring out what their real pain point is. It's not that the 3% rate, it's the
Mhm.
payment that they have to pay. Or like Ramil said, they've got to move out of their house.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, they're seeing in the news, oh, rates are still high and inflation, blah, 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 but they don't really understand how that affects their monthly payment or, well, yeah, they don't understand exactly how that affects their affordability. So if you can take it back to that, it makes it a lot more doable or easier. Okay, next objection I've been hearing a lot. Oh man, I feel like prices are just really high. I want to wait till the market slows down and prices come down a little bit. Ramil.
Yeah, absolutely. And that really is an option. But I will tell you, what's going to happen when prices come down and everyone else is waiting sees that, right? Now we're jumping into competition, bidding wars, all for the same houses because everyone sees that, prices are waiting. This house has been on the market for a little bit and sellers are starting to be a little bit more realistic in their prices and they're having to give concessions and different things, to make it really work. So if this is the house that, you absolutely want and one you want to take a shot on, I suggest, we craft an offer together with terms that make sense for you and see what they say.
That's good. Very good.
Can you all
Anyone?
tell that Ramil has the reps in?
Yeah. I can tell he's been practicing and having the conversations.
Can you repeat the way you worded the objection?
The objection?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I just feel like the house prices are just so high right now. I think I might want to wait until they come down a little.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but historically, there's only been 2 times that home prices have actually really dropped. And even with the change in the market, we haven't really seen a lot of retraction like in the prices. And actually, at least like in the market that I live in, I mean, there is still projected to increase about 2% over the next year. So, I mean, with you purchasing like a $300,000 house, like, do you think you're going to be able to save an additional like $6,000 over the next year to kind of compensate, for that difference?
Hmm, that's true. But what if, everything on the news says that we're primed for a crash? Like everything's kind of crazy. There's a crash coming. Why don't I just wait for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, they kind of were saying that, like some people were saying that back, like 5 or 6. No, I don't need that. Sorry. That sorry, where was I? No, like they were saying that, 5 or 6 years ago, and we didn't have a crash, then. And honestly, I mean, are you planning on moving somewhere, for the next like another 10 years from now?
No, this is absolutely going to be the last time we move. This is
Yeah.
my forever home. I'm not going anywhere.
I mean, then if we do have a little bit of retraction in the market, by the time that you would actually be moving out of this house or selling this house, I mean, it would probably resolve any of, the difference that you lost. If anything does come down a little bit, but really what we're actually seeing is that, when the rates do drop a little bit, that when people return to the market, it's just going to push the houses up. There's so many people that are sitting on the sidelines waiting to purchase houses until the rates drop or until the prices come down.
That's good. Very good. I like that.
I mean,
I like that long-term strategy. I liked that a lot. That was really good. Right. Anybody else before we throw another one out there? Okay.
Michelle was thinking about it, but
I
maybe
know
she,
I can see it on her face. I can tell when she's working on something. Okay, this is a fun one that someone said to me literally this morning. Man, do you watch the news? Is literally what he said to me. Do you watch the news? Like our world is crazy. Like the economy is nuts. Is now really a good time to buy? Ramil.
Uh, yeah, so I would say, yeah, no, I mean, I really don't watch the news too much. There's just a lot of negative stuff going on right now. And I think the what's misleading about the news, right, is it's taking everything, and there's a lot of different factors that, go into saying that the housing market is even going to crash or it's a bad market. Luckily for us, we live in Iowa. Iowa's typically, behind everything. We don't really get affected by other markets, California, the coast, things like that. So I actually get calls pretty often of people leaving those markets to come here because still, yearly we're getting a, 3% return, right? So it's a better investment. People are moving here. So it's definitely a good idea, if you are a news watcher, to watch the news, see what's going on around the world, but also to understand that markets are totally different. You're buying here in Iowa, so that's really the market we need to pay attention to. And the numbers here are showing that, there's not a decline. People are still able to buy, affordably, and, year over year, they're still getting value out of their house. So, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on.
Good. Rochelle, were you waving to I wasn't sure. I was like, is she raising her hand or not? I can't tell. You're driving, so I just want to make sure. That was really good, Ramil. Anybody else?
I really would try to focus on the fact of like, there's always going to be things that are going on like in the country and in the world and everything. But at the end of the day, like your mom is still coming to live with you, and you still like need a bigger house for, the family, because I mean, your kids are going to be home for several more years. You still need that bigger, that bigger garage. And, I know you were still hoping to get closer in so your husband doesn't have to drive as far to work every day. I mean, that's not going to change for you no matter kind of what's going on in the around the world.
Very good. Going back to the motivation. That's awesome.
Mm.
Anybody else? Okay, I have one more. And I don't know if this is more of a regional thing. I'm hearing it's nationwide, but man, I don't want to buy a house. Have you seen the prices of homeowners insurance lately? Like it just keeps going up. Why do I want a bigger house that's gonna make my insurance go up more?
Well, you're still paying for that even when you're a renter because the landlord and everything is still having to pay for that, and they're not just eating the cost of it, they're passing it on to you through the rent.
That's good.
I think Michelle raised her hand.
Yes.
But you
Um, yeah, so okay, wait, so you currently own a home, right?
Hmm.
Have you seen your rates go up yet?
My insurance adjuster said this last time we renewed was the last time for me to expect a big increase this next year, in both in my deductible and my rates.
Okay, so that makes sense. So whether you get into a new house or you stay in this home, it sounds like you're going to be impacted by those insurance rates regardless, correct?
Yeah, that's true, but this new house is higher, so my insurance is gonna go up too with that.
Sure, and it may. I mean, we're only looking at a $50,000 difference in value here. But for that 50,000, you're also getting more space. You're getting closer to your mom, which you want to be. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, how much would you anticipate that a rate would go up over a $50,000 increase in value?
I honestly don't even know how it works. I've just been hearing about insurance rates going up.
Yeah. So I mean, realistically, we're maybe talking maybe 25, maybe $50 at the most a month, right? So
Oh,
if it gets you closer to mom and gets you closer to your end goal now, would that be worth looking into?
well, yeah. I mean, putting it like that, it's only $50 a month. I thought, man, everything sounds so scary. I thought it was going to be a lot more than that. So yeah,
Well, yeah. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we have your insurance agent run some numbers on this house and just see what it comes back at?
I like that. Let's do that. That's
Perfect.
excellent.
Maybe your mom will pay the difference in the insurance for you.
Oh, done.
Will you be my
Oh.
mom, Ann? I mean, no, that sounded bad. I want my mom. Don't get me wrong. Just my insurance paying mother.
Oh.
It's
Ramil?
only $50.
Yeah, I would say the same thing and along the lines with Michelle. And then again, people buying houses, again, it could be another instance where, you do the math, obviously you have your insurance agent run the numbers, or you do find a different company to get those numbers. And, if say it is $50 a month extra, right? That's $600 a year. So that could easily be covered, right, in a concession. Say you want to get concessions from the sellers, right? So that's a concession we could ask for, money you could bank, to at least get comfortable with the payment, right? It's not obviously not going to be a lifetime, coverage of that insurance bump, but with only being $600 a year and doing that math, if we can get a $1,200 concession, that's 2 years worth of your new insurance, covered. So that's the route that I would go.
That's good. Very good. Okay, we do have time for one more. I'm excited. Okay. This is fun. Thank y'all for jumping in and playing along. Okay, so setting the stage, you have shown this buyer a lot of houses that you had a really good buyer's consult. It checks all the boxes. They have not made an offer yet. So buyer says, I really like this one. You're right. It checks all my boxes. I'm afraid that if I make an offer on this one and I don't see, 10 more houses, I'm gonna miss out on something. How many of you have had those buyers? They just want to keep on looking. Uh, Ramil, you want to go?
Yeah, and it's that's definitely understandable. And I can tell you firsthand, just like, anything else, you're buying a car, anything else, there's always going to be something, secondhand that you think could have been a better situation. Maybe, it would be a better situation. But what we need to focus on right now is we have your 5 boxes that we were looking for. This house checks all those boxes. And typically, in the past, when I've had buyers in the same situation, right, whether they don't offer on a house, they lose out, they do offer on it and lose out on it, they have a lot of regret, right? And they wish they could have went back in time. And so I think if we can craft this offer, and if the price is right, or maybe you think it needs to be a little bit lower, whatever the case may be, with all these boxes being checked, I definitely think it's worth a shot at getting this house. There's really no reason to take a risk and hope that something else, is going to come up. If it was something where, maybe you see a house right now, right? We have a list of other houses, and you like this first house, but we have the other ones to see. That's completely different. But I definitely want to throw this one out the window in hopes, that something else is going to come down the line.
That's good. Anybody else?
I will. I would say, okay, well, out of all the, I think we've looked at about 30 houses by now. So out of the 30 houses, you've had a list that you have ranked them. And out of the 30 houses, you've picked about 10. And of those 10 that have been at the top of your list that you've been kind of thinking about, and then now you're adding this one, of those 10 houses, 8 of them have already gone under contract. So you've missed out on those. And so now we're kind of coming down where we're just going to keep looking and missing out and keep Dylan's waving at everybody. Keep looking and missing out and looking and missing out. And I would hate for you to lose out on another one. I'm not pushing you into this house, but this house is the one that has now ranked #1 and has marked all of your boxes. And I would hate for you to regret of you sitting on the fence with this one, waiting for another one to come, and now this one goes under contract. And then you become frustrated with me, and then, we just get frustrated in the whole process. And I would rather just, save face and not have to put you through any more kind of heartache of losing out on a house. So I really kind of think if this is the one, let's go ahead and make an offer. Let's do, a 7-10 day option period. Gives you a couple of days to really think about it. And because you've already said you can see yourself in this house. And so if you can see yourself in this house, you love the neighborhood, you love the community, you love the area, then let's not miss out on another one.
Nice.
Yeah. I've had that conversation.
One
It was a little easy.
has come up a lot lately too.
Yeah.
Michelle, were you about to say something? Nope. Okay.
What was the exact objection? Sorry, like a zillion going
No,
on.
you're good. So you've shown the client like 30 houses. A lot of them have checked the box. This is yet another one that checks all the boxes and is a house. But the buyer says, man, I'm afraid that if I go ahead and make an offer, what if something better pops up and I just miss out on something?
Yeah, I'm not very good at this.
I appreciate the honesty.
I mean, I try,
people.
but it's like I'm the one who I've got somebody right now that I think we're up to, you're gonna die. I almost don't even want to tell you this. We're at pretty close to 80 houses that they've seen. Yeah, we have written some offers. We have, and I do have conversations with her, and I've gotten to the point where if a house is under 1,000 square feet, I just tell her, no, we're not even going to look at it. Every single thing that's under 1,000 square feet, you have said is too small. And then she'll be like, oh, we've got like she wants 2 full baths. And I'll be like, this one is like a 1.5 baths. Every single thing we've gone to see that's only 1.5 baths, you go back and say it has to have 2. Sometimes I'll call the agent and be like, hey, I know that the second bath's in the basement. Is there any way that they could add another bath? And if that was, I mean, like, like a bathtub or a shower, and I'll let them and I'll go. But no, I'm really terrible about I try very hard to go with their motivation and everything of like, I mean, why, but this particular person can keep on extending her lease like every month, and so it's really hard because her motivation's like really low. But I've let a couple people just renew their leases because I kept trying to get them to kind of be like, I mean, I pushed their pain points as much as I could, and
Yeah.
It
yeah,
sounds like she likes the idea of owning a house, but not the commitment.
yeah. I agree. And I and I did tell her too, where she is at price point wise, that if we could get her about $20,000 more, like, in her budget, I mean, it would literally like open up the door so much to exactly what she wants. But she does not claim most of her like hair income because she's a hairstylist. And I'm like, if you change, like modify your, taxes or something like that, claim more income, get a modification for her. She only gets paid $300 a month for child support. I'm like, if you do modification and get more money from child support, or even have a co-signer, because she literally has the income for the addition, like the additional money, but it hasn't worked so far.
Has she looked at
So-
bank statement loans?
What was that?
Bank statement loans?
He did something. Is that where they kind of create something for you
They
based
go off
on?
of 12 months of bank statements
Yeah.
instead of tax returns and W-2s and stuff.
I don't know if that's what it was called, but that sounds like something that the guy did. He did something with, I mean, because they sent it off to manual underwriting and everything, where they went through all kinds of stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would go back after Michelle posts the recording and listen again to Megan and Ramil's their responses.
Yeah.
They were both really, really good. Okay, it's 9:31. We're over time, but he left, but with a total of 5 responses, Ramil wins. So I'll reach out to him about a prize. Thank y'all. This was fun. This was fun. Y'all have an amazing weekend, and we will see y'all Monday morning.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.